Welcome back to Tech by Pike. Today we have this little gem here. This is the Asus ROG Zephyrus 14-inch gaming laptop in the Moonlight white color. It has a Ryzen 5900HS processor, 8-core. It has the RTX 3060 graphics card, that is the 60-watt version. 144 hertz panel, 1080p, and then 16 gigabytes of RAM. We're going to throw some benchmarking at it, some gaming, and we're going to see how it fares. Let's get into this. We're going to test out the speakers first, and we're going to play some non-copyright music off of YouTube here. And we're going to start it off at 50%, 51%. Oh, let's move it to 50%. All right, let's see how this sounds. $75. %. Okay, so that's pretty impressive sound coming from a 14-inch laptop. That is really nice.
We tested the screen with our Spider X Pro and we came out at 96% sRGB and 74% of Adobe RGB.
Okay, this laptop has a fingerprint reader that is on the power button. That'll help you log into Windows if set up correctly. I will say that it's worked for me about 30 to 40% of the time. It's pretty hit and miss, so I don't use it. I just log in with a user ID and password. There's a few other buttons up here above the keyboard. You have two speaker volume buttons. You have the mute microphone button, which is odd because you don't have a webcam. And then you have the button here that launches the Armory crate. Now, this laptop does not have Optimus, so you can manipulate the performance in Armor Crate by going to these different tabs: Windows, Silent, Performance, Turbo for Gaming. And it's got this manual button here where you can kind of set the base clock offset, memory clock offset, and there's a GPU power saver. If you scroll down, you can look at the fan speed, and then over here you can see CPU and GPU stats. I think here's another fan speed monitor, and then memory and storage monitor. Under the system tab here, you can set GPU power saving settings. The lighting settings for the keyboard backlight, it's not per key or zone, it's the whole keyboard, and it's one color, which is white. I will say, if you have the white laptop with the white keyboard, I don't think that's an option. The lighting is really hard to see, but if you have the black colored laptop, I think the backlighting for the keyboard does show up quite a bit better, I've heard. In the Settings tab, you have the Update Center, where you can look for driver updates and software pushed out by Asus. I think this laptop is actually up to date.
Now for some benchmarking. Cinebench score, CPU multi-core, 13,309 points, and CPU single-core score is 1,466 points. We performed some benchmarking with 3D Mark. Our Firestrike score was 18,007 for the graphics. The physics scores was 23,813, and the combined score was 7,993. Our Firestrike overall score was 16,539 points. Our TimeSpy score was 6,188 for graphics. CPU score was 8,861, and our overall TimeSpy score was 6,481. Not bad for both Time Spy and Fire Strike.
We use the in-game benchmarking tool in Shadows of the Tomb Raider, and we averaged around 55 FPS on Ultra. We also use the in-game benchmarking tool for Red Dead Redemption, and we received around 32 FPS on average on Ultra settings. As you know, I like to play a little Battlefront too. I have the settings on medium, and the FPS ticker is up in the right hand corner. Let's watch for a few.
Trees won't be the only things cut down today. Who'll be the first to apologize to the Wookiees for trashing their homeworld?
Fire at will.
Army or not, you must realize you're too. I've gotten into quite a mess now.
The light is immediately snuffed out.
I ran Cyberpunk 2020 on Ultra settings. Got about 30 FPS on average. Let's take a look.
Now for some benchmarking. Fps Scores, CPU multi-core, 13,309 points, and CPU single-core score is 1,466 points.
Okay, this spreadsheet here is a work in progress for sure, and probably will change over time as we get better at this. But this is a spreadsheet that shows the FPS scores for several different laptops that we've reviewed over the last few months, and the Asus ROG Zephyrus 14 right here got a score of 86 FPS on ultra settings for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. We scroll down here, it got an average of 120 FPS for F1 2020 on ultra settings. Red Dead Redemption, it got a score of 50 FPS average on ultra settings. We are running Tomb Raider at high FPS, and the keyboard right now is at around between 110 and 112 Fahrenheit. And then up near the bottom of the screen, it's about 118 to Fahrenheit. And then down by the palm rest, it's averaging around 79 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty hot. Right now we're running the Shadow of the Tomb Raider on high, and the fans are also on high, and they are averaging around between 60 and 62 decibels. The Asus ROG Zephyrus 14-inch gaming laptop is a powerhouse in a small package. The aesthetic is fantastic. It really hasn't changed since last year. I love the dot matrix here with the foil backing. Gives off this rainbow look when light is shining down on it. I think that's great. It's unassuming, would do well in an office setting. Unfortunately, no webcam, so that is a missed opportunity, especially in a time where workers are still telecommuting. The keyboard itself, I was a little disappointed. I thought the keys had too much wobble to them. I thought that might become an issue 6 months to a year down the road where you might be replacing some keys. I think when you lift the lid, the venting actually blows up against the screen. There is a thick bezel, wide bezel there to kind of block that, but I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, 6 months to a year down the road if that truly is an issue. The internals themselves, I was a little disappointed. 16 gigabytes of RAM with 8 gigabytes soldered to the motherboard. If you were to upgrade that one slot to a 24 gig, then you lose some dual channel. It only has one slot for an SSD, and the Wi-Fi card, the Wi-Fi 6 is underneath that SSD, which I had some trouble locating, but you can swap it out. This thing has the AMD Ryzen 9 series processor with an RTX 3060 60-watt graphic card. Gaming on this laptop was a little uncomfortable, I'll admit. Set on high, within 30 minutes, my fingers were getting really hot on the keyboard, and it made it to the point where it was unbearable, and I had to switch out to an external keyboard. The I/O is located on the left and the right, up towards the front of the laptop. Makes it difficult for cable management, but I know why they did it, is for all the venting, and like I said, they need all the vents they can get on this thing because it does get so hot. I think this laptop is probably one of the best 14-inch gaming laptops out there right now. We'll see how this year progresses, what comes out in the future. But for right now, this thing is fantastic and amazing and probably the top of the heap. I highly recommend it. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more tech videos by Tech by Pike, hit the subscribe button. It helps us out in bringing more tech videos to you. And we truly appreciate it, and we are humbled by all the reaction we've gotten over videos that we've already posted. So we truly appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.